Hello and welcome to another Only Trash Here podcast, episode 71. The day today is the 8th of February 2015. So you were informing me of something very interesting. You were telling me all about this Hot Vimto.
Really? We're going to start the podcast on this.
I think people need to know about the Hot Vimto because we need to spread out the word that who are these people drinking this Hot Vimto, and should we make some sort of slavery camp for said people?
Listen, it was a frog advertising it, so I don't know what influence or power he has over people, but to anyone that does drink hot squash, you're wrong. So in answer to your question, yes. Send them away, send them out of the country, send them to Australia, I don't care. Get rid of them.
Well, it's hot always there, so you just kind of... Maybe hot orange to us, or hot Vimto, is just average Vimto to the Australians.
They fit right in.
So yeah, 20 degree orange. That's what that is.
But Vimto is such a weird brand because I'm sure at some point Vimto had some sort of class. But now it's Poundland stuff, Vimto. It's same thing with After Eights. Poundland stuff.
What about Ribena? How are they doing?
Ribena are still okay.
Nice.
Ribena are still at the top, I'd say, for blackcurrant squash. Vimto, way down.
I don't know what happened.
There's some really weird sort of byproducts as well. So you have like Vimto Chews, Vimto Fizzy version, and I saw some really odd one as well. Oh, I wish I could remember what it was. But then you get Vimto Ice Lollies.
Oh, so good. They're the only ones I actually like anymore. I'm kind of sick of everything else Vimto related, but give me a lovely Vimto Ice Lolly.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, is that what they're called? Ice Lolly? The one, it's got like ice creamy white stuff in the middle and then Vimto flavoured around it?
I don't know
sure
what
if
you're
that's
talking
technically
about.
An Ice Lolly. You know, a Vimto Ice Lolly.
I've never actually had one. I've only seen them in the shops.
Oh, they're delicious.
I thought you were saying like that in terms of all ice creams, and I thought you were a madman then.
No. More of a Twister man.
Yes, I was going to say Twister or a Fab.
Oh, no, I can't have Fabs anymore.
Why?
I had too many as a kid. Because in Iceland, that's what my mum would get. It's like, 5 for £1, here we go. And then we have a Fab. But then Twister was there when we were like out and about. And I got to choose. Then I would go for a Twister because it's what I actually wanted.
They used to do in my old school mini milks.
Mini milks?
But is that what they were called? Mini milks? You know.
The one with the cow where you got like the strawberry one.
And they were so creamy.
The chocolate one, vanilla one.
And I reckon because of that damn Jamie Oliver, they got rid of them.
Well, the weird thing with Jamie Oliver is that he actually got rid of Turkey Twizzlers.
Yes.
He actually did it. Like, straight up. Like, you got so many chefs nowadays who would talk about healthy food or whatever. But he straight up went on TV, made a show about Turkey Twizzlers, and now you can't buy Turkey Twizzlers anymore. It's insane.
The Turkey Twizzler business was very unhappy with Jamie Oliver. All the CEOs are angrily shaking their fists at him.
They were in their big tall towers, laughing,
shaped
and
like
we've made so much
Twizzler.
money. Exactly. And then they saw the advert for the show, and they're just like, we must stop this Jamie Oliver before it's too late. But it was too late.
Yeah. And then he went over to America to try and do the same, and they just laughed him back to Britain.
They just booed him back here. Poor guy.
See, I'm quite amazed that Jamie Oliver got booed, yet Piers Morgan got his own show over there. What's all that about?
Well, a lot of people still hate him, though.
Yeah, I think he's been cancelled over there, but it took him long enough. Wake up, America.
And Simon Cowell is still doing well.
Yeah. Is this supposed to be about games?
Apparently, at some point, I don't know.
Oh,
it's not my choice, is it?
No, because actually, I was gonna bring up another topic, not related to games.
Okay, that's fine.
Have you got a red nose yet?
When is it Red Nose Day coming up?
Yes. Red noses are already out.
This is new information to me.
Well, they're doing... You know how red noses used to be so exciting for me as a kid because it was different every time. They had cool little little things about them every time. So I remember the ones with the hair, and you had the hair gel.
Yes.
And you could sort of style it, and then the ones with the noses that poked out, and the ones with maybe some stickers and things.
Yeah.
Now they've just got really lame. They've went for the comfort over style now, and they're all that foamy sort of material, which means you can't really do much with them. So now they just sort of decorate them in different styles. But I'll show you what I got. I'm going to have to go and move over.
Show me.
Yeah, because on the packet they had all the different ones you could get.
Right.
Here
So
we
now
go.
it's like a
Here
collecting
it is.
thing.
I'll go with my headphones back in now. Professional as always. So, nose in the bag, they're called. And it's basically...
I can't see you, right? I just want to
I know,
make that clear.
Yeah, but they've done them like blind bags now.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you can get... because I think these names are amazing. So they're all designed in different themes. I'm going to go through the names.
Okay.
Nose in the bag.
please
Which
do.
one will you get?
I don't know.
So, there's one that's like Superman. He's called Super Nose.
Of course he is.
There's one like a robot called Nosebot.
But why is that not Robo-Nose?
Don't know. This one's quite good. There's one like a crazy scientist, and he's called Snotty Professor.
Very...
There's one that's supposed to be like a burglar, just called Stripey. Not quite seeing the pun in that.
Yeah, I don't get that.
There's one like an astronaut called an Astrosnort.
That one's fine. I'll give him that.
There's like a fluffy one called Snorbit.
Yeah.
This next one I got. This is the one I got in the bag, and I'm quite pleased with this. It's like a vampire, Snout Dracula.
No, I'm not having it.
Oh come on!
No.
2 more.
We don't have snouts.
2 more. There's like a deep sea diver one called Snortle. Not quite getting that
Nice,
one
that's
either.
fun.
And also the last one, which is I wanted this one as well, is like a karate master guy, Karate Kid, and he's called Karate Conk.
What?
You know, like conk your nose, you conk.
Yeah, but don't you conk your nose? Your nose isn't a conk.
I thought the nose was the conk. You'd say he's got a big conk.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Judging by the noses.
Oh,
but
and-
I always thought you could conk your nose.
There are 12 golden noses to be found.
Oh.
12 in every single... Well, I didn't win it. I didn't get the gold one, if that's what you're wondering.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I'm surprised they're doing blind bag versions now. They're doing that whole, gotta collect them all sort of thing.
Well, yeah, that's super smart. Makes so much sense. But I don't know why, because when I was younger, I really liked them as well. I think I still have one of my old ones, the one where it had like just plasticky kind of frilly hair. I think it was like yellow and blue or whatever that you could rustle or something. But I have no idea why they were cool, because when you look back on it, they're just like a red nose.
You know what I think it was? It was probably not the nose itself. It's just whenever it's around that time in school, there were things going on. We probably associate it with that.
I suppose.
Yeah, they were like talent shows or fundraising things, cake bake sales. So I think it's that. I do agree with you. They're probably quite lame looking back, but school was slightly more fun when Red Nose Day was on.
Yeah, I guess things were a lot simpler. Because the reason why we liked them definitely wasn't because it's for charity. I mean, heavens no.
No.
That's not what Red Nose Day is all about.
No.
It's about red noses and being cool and cakes.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. I haven't watched it in years.
And when
This
you
is the
do
first I'm
watch
hearing
it,
about
you know what you do. You wait for the funny bit. Oh, they're doing it. They've gone to Africa. Turn it over.
But
Then
Whoa,
right, is
hang on.
the comic sketch on? All right, turn it back.
Oh.
No.
And then you switch to the Africa one, thinking it's the comic sketch. You're laughing, and then about halfway through, you're like,
Wait a minute.
"Oof, oh dear, don't feel too good about that."
All right, maybe it was just me, but
Well, you're just horrible.
I wrote
That's
something.
apparent.
I wrote something in my old school newsletter about this. I must have seemed like such a little brat.
Dweeb.
I wrote about comic relief and how it's just annoying in a way. Yes, I did that. I wrote about how annoying it is with specifically how they I don't know how the way they plan things out in the night. I know why they do it, to keep people going, but just the way they say coming up, and it was 2 hours later, still not there. Coming up later on tonight, this sketch that you actually want to see, but we have to go through all this other crap first, and it goes on and delays more.
Yeah.
And one more thing to moan about Comic Relief, just whilst I'm on the topic.
No.
Claudia Winkleman seems to be on there now every year, and that's just wrong.
Who's that?
Claudia Winkleman. She should be sent, along with the Hot Vimto drinkers, to Australia. Just get her out of this country, because she's a terrible presenter.
I don't know who that is.
She does a Strictly Come Dancing now, since Bruce Forsyth left. But before that,
okay,
she's for some reason she's in charge of, like, well, not in charge, but she features in all the arts programs for BBC. So she does a film review, Film 2015 or whatever, and she does the BBC Two arts program. She doesn't know anything about arts.
Oh no!
Her review. So Film 2015, for anyone who doesn't know, film review show, and it has her and usually a specialist, an actual critic, as the co-presenter. And so you'd have these little sections where they're reviewing the latest films, and this guy will go, yeah, very good cinematography, blah, 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 very good acting by this, blah, blah, blah. And then it will cut to her, and she'd be like, yeah, I thought the acting was really good, the story was okay, yeah, really good. And so she's just reading that off of, it just gets on my nerves.
Well, she likes the film. What do you want?
I want analysis, and not just from the other guy, because he's annoying. She's on there for no reason at all.
But she liked the actors. Hello.
The actors were really good. They acted the emotion.
They were.
I know that they weren't actually those people, but I thought they were because they acted it really well. You know, that's her level of analysis. Gets right on my nerves.
I am so disconnected from British TV. It's crazy. I didn't think I was connected, but wow, you're naming people I don't know, talking about a show I don't know. I've never seen Strictly Come Dancing, if you can even believe it. I just have no reference for any of that stuff anymore.
But the thing is, the person who did it before Claudia Winkleman was Jonathan Ross. So there's not much, he's not a film critic either. But at least with him, you got the feeling he actually cared about seeing the film, and maybe he even saw it. With her, you get the feeling that she's just reading off of something, and she's just talking out of her behind.
Well,
that's why
a bit
I don't watch
rude,
TV
a bit
much.
vulgar.
Well, she does. And that's why I don't watch
Literally,
things.
it's awful.
Well, literally would be a bit worrying.
Jeez.
Not sure that would be on BBC Two then.
No. Past 9 o'clock, it's fine.
Oh, yeah. Alright, rant over. I'm done.
Cool. I've already forgotten the net. Winkleman?
Claudia Winkleman. She has a very
it was.
big fringe and sort of squinty eyes. She squints a lot. And someone does a very good impression of her on the one with John Coleshaw. That one. Dead Ringers.
Oh, right. Is that still going?
It's the one who does the Davina McCall impression. Do you know who I'm on about?
I used to watch Dead Ringers.
Yeah, I don't think it's still going, but when it was the woman who did Davina McCall and Claudia Winkleman. She did them very well. And,
Fantastic.
highlighted all their flaws as well. So that was what made it so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move on.
Yeah, okay, good. Probably
no
healthy.
offense to you, Joe, but I have if people know what you're talking about, then terrific, but I don't. So yeah.
Now you know how I feel when you talk about Sonic.
That's different. I'm just gonna cross this out of the agenda. That's fine.
But no, yeah, we should move on.
Runners talk. That's fine.
We definitely should move on.
You're probably right.
Yes.
About that. Right. So, you know about these Netflix people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, Netflix is a horrible name. It's terrible if you break it down. Netflix. Ugh. Like, it's not... It's... Ugh. Flix. Ugh. I don't like the name.
Why not?
Netflix. It's like... Because obviously they were like, okay, we're going to put some stuff on the internet, and they're going to be shows. So they took like, nobody calls it a flick. Like, it is a term for a film, a flick.
Yeah.
But it's a horrible term that nobody uses. So the fact that they took flicks, and then put, it's just horrible. I think it's a horrible word.
So, alright. I can't. I was trying to think of maybe an alternate name, but I'm happy with Netflix. So,
Well, yeah, at this point, because by the time it's big. You don't have to care. That you don't even hear the word. You just hear you know what it is. So it's Netflix. You don't hear the fact that it's two separate words been mashed together with one of them being flicks.
So do you prefer
flicks?
Name-wise, love film? Is that just simpler to you? You love films? You would subscribe to love film?
Love film isn't great, but at least it doesn't use any any slang like flicks. So I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Okay. So what about them?
Apparently, there's a report going around that they are going to be making a Legend of Zelda live-action show. So this is just a report, but apparently it's in very early stages of development. But the plan would be that it's Game of Thrones, but with Zelda, and also a bit more family-friendly, so people can enjoy it.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. I don't like the sound of this. I don't know if it's going to be a bad show, but just a Zelda live-action show, just from there, it doesn't matter who's making it, the style or anything like that, a live-action Zelda show, no, that doesn't work. I don't think that really makes any sense, because The Legend of Zelda is a series all about an adventure, and it's like you're going through an adventure, exploring the world of Hyrule, and yeah, there is quite a lot of story elements in there, but it's the adventure part that's the interesting thing. So I think to try and transition that into a live-action show, I just don't think it would work. Because I think fantasy or Western fantasy, although technically this is Japanese fantasy, but it's like Western fantasy, is really hard to do. Every single other fantasy TV show is terrible, apart from Game of Thrones. Every single one. They're all really bad. So I don't think they can pull it off. I don't think anyone can put it off to try and translate something that's like cartoonish like Zelda and translate that into capture the same essence but in a TV show and have all the characters work. It's just going to be lame. I mean, Game of Thrones only works so well because it's all well acted, directed and whatever, but it's brutal. It works because it's a brutal show. So you take that element out of it and add Zelda to it, that's not going to work. So I want to see what they come up with, but there's no way it's good. There's no way.
Would you not say Game of Thrones is good because it's based on a good source material? In which case, maybe Zelda would be quite good.
Okay, but the source material is brutal and it... No. I think Game of Thrones is good because of the source material, but it is also translated well. So they could take what was in the pages, being this brutal kind of medieval-esque fantasy TV show, and as long, it was well put together as a TV show. But with Zelda, no, I just don't see it. Maybe it will be really good. I don't know, because it is good source material. But translating the story of Link trying to stop Ganon with all the different pieces of Triforces or whatever, I don't think that would work into a TV show. I think maybe a film might work, but you're not gonna... No. I'm just gonna say no a few more times. No. I don't want it.
I think Kevin Spacey should play Link.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because he's a good actor.
That's not the point.
Well, screw
Listen,
you.
I've had enough of you and your Spaceyisms.
Oh, hey now. To be honest, I don't think it's a very good idea either. Only because I think it sounds like Netflix are because they're doing so well at the moment, they're sort of like, yeah, we can do whatever we want. Zelda, let's try that. Maybe they're sort of a bit too caught up in the moment.
Maybe.
Because they are on a roll.
But then maybe because they are good, it will be good.
Well,
to be counter to your point.
They do let a lot of creative control go to the directors or whatever. So, depends on who's in charge.
Well, I don't have a problem.
If it's not that,
I suppose.
Who's that guy, that director? Like someone who directs all the. Is that his name?
Or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, who directs all the film video games. As long as it's not him, it should be fine.
You think? I still don't. I don't know. I still don't see it. I don't think there's so many shows or source material, whatever, that I don't think would make a good TV show. But it, like the Zelda thing, it's being made into a TV show because that's the hot thing. TV is like the biggest thing kind of going around right now, where people are really into TV shows and box sets and binging TV shows and just being really into them. So that's kind of the thing. They're kind of bigger than films right now. So I think that's why Netflix is like, we'll make a Zelda show. It's not because it's the right fit. It's because TV shows are the big thing at the moment, and that's what they kind of want to do. So I think it might be a thing of what you said about Netflix being like, oh, we're the best. But also Nintendo are in a position where they're like, we want to expand our franchises to stay relevant. So you put these two people together, and they're, Netflix, who are like, we can make awesome TV shows. Nintendo, where it's like, we want to expand Zelda. That's not, when you put those two things together, it's not a creative place at all. I don't think it would work. And then I don't know. I mean, obviously people on the internet have already been like, oh, who would be in the Zelda film? And it's like,
Kevin Spacey.
Not a Kevin Spacey, but I can't even imagine any actor or actress I know and have seen in films playing characters from a Zelda game. I just don't think that makes any sense. The only one, I guess, just like if you got someone and put him in a Link costume, you're like, no, absolutely not. Like, Lord of the Rings is a fantasy thing, but it's like, Lord of the Rings is based pretty much in a real, like, Lord of the Rings has an element of realism to it, but it's like twisted slightly with like magic and all that kind of stuff. It's similar to Game of Thrones. It's kind of based in like a realistic medieval place. But Zelda, I don't think is like that. Zelda isn't based in an actual medieval version of, or whatever. It's just Zelda. It's like a magical land or whatever. It's more akin to like a kid's sort of setting. So to have that be a live action thing, no, you would have to go around and see all the creatures and all the monsters of the Zelda universe. They would have to be in the show because they're such a crucial part of the games, and Link has to defeat them. But I don't want to see like some actor with like a little sword try and defeat and I don't want to see like Gorons or whatever. It's too far-fetched. Like, it's too much of a fantasy world because it's not based in enough reality where it would work as a Netflix TV show. It would have to be more like an animated film. That's where it could work, because they could creatively do a lot more with the animation or whatever. But I mean, that's what the problem with the Super Mario Bros. Film was, where they tried to take things and make it more realistic and put it in that setting, and it was horrible. It was awful. Of course, that's the extreme example, but that's what you would kind of have to do for Zelda if you're going to say, oh, it's a Game of Thrones style sort of show, because really Zelda and Game of Thrones are extremely different, where really I don't think you can put them together and be like, yeah, we can just take the Game of Thrones formula and add Zelda and less beheadings and boom, we got a good show. Like, no, that doesn't work.
Alright, so let me just get this clear. We can summarise this entire thing.
I like summaries.
With no.
No.
That's it.
That's really is it. It's just no.
No.
It's something I haven't even really thought about, though, since I saw it. Like, I didn't come pre-prepared with thoughts, which is why they were so messy when I said them. But that's because when I saw it, I was just like, no. and then just scrolled elsewhere, like clicked onto something else. Like, well, that's just a straight out nope, that wouldn't work. That would be silly and would make no sense. Let's see what else is on the internet today. So that's why it's just, I think it's just that simple. It's just like, makes no sense, don't do it.
You hear that, Netflix guys, as you're rolling in your money? Don't do it, says on Tom 23.
Absolutely.
Will they heed your warning? No.
Just take any of the creatures and try and imagine them in a live action setting and not have that be really stupid. You just can't do it. It doesn't work. Like, imagine Link just walking down and a big plant, like, he tries to eat him, and then you see, like, Dodongas and whatever. You're just like, no.
You've lost me at Dodongas.
They're, like, the big rock sort of creature. Not the Gorons, but, like,
You've lost me at
the
Gorons.
Monsters. Gorons are, like, the rock people.
You've lost me at rock.
Like, the round faces. Rocks are things on the earth that are hard.
Oh, rocks.
So now you know the Gongus.
Yeah, that would never work.
Dogagons.
That would never work.
It wouldn't.
The owl would work.
The owl would be pretty cool. No, even the owl has to talk. The owl had to fly and be like, hello, Link, but it's like Game of Thrones. Like, no. Actually, no.
The guards would work. They're human.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yes.
Could be Link and a bunch of guards just hanging out.
That's 24 episodes right there.
That's a season. That's right. That's easy.
Done. Next one.
Move on. Give that the old tickaroo.
Maybe they'll try Mario next.
Maybe. I don't know. Because of course we already had a Link or Zelda TV show, which was just an animation, but it was like a kids animation, like specifically made for kids, and it wasn't very good. But obviously this won't be anything like that. I think we just need to... I'm still sticking with my no, but let's see what they come up with. If this is true, because I don't think it's officially confirmed. If this is true, let's see what they throw out there. Maybe there'll be someone with the right vision. I don't think so at all. Of course, because like Nintendo have tried to explore a lot of possibilities with their franchise when it comes to films and TV shows. But what happens is that they start kind of producing them, and then Nintendo say, no, this isn't going to work, this isn't what we want for our franchise. So that implies to me that a lot of people have already like taken that opportunity, and it just never works out at all. But of course, Nintendo being in a more desperate position to push The Legend of Zelda onto people and expand it, they might be more willing to say yes, which means that we'll probably see why they said no to so many people in all these years. And they might just say no anyway later down the road. Like they start developing it, they have some ideas, and they say no. The most famous one of them doing this was when John Woo was going to make a Metroid movie back in like 2005 or something. And that just all got shut down because if Nintendo don't like it, then they don't like it. Which apparently with the Super Mario Bros. Film, the reason why that exists is because originally it was meant to be really good, and then it just got twisted as it was being made, and then it just got made and it was terrible, so they had to release it. But we'll see.
What about The Wizard?
No. Well, The Wizard was
the advert for
a film
the Super
that they
Nintendo.
just... Yeah, it was an advert. It wasn't a Nintendo film. It was just a film where Nintendo got on board that and added a lot of their stuff in it.
Why has there never been a film like that now? The whole thing is just an advert.
People are a bit too jaded.
Yeah,
I think.
Damn that!
People are too
game that film fooled me. They thought it was going to be a really cool film about a wizard. They left,
and it wasn't.
Wanting to buy a bloody Super Nintendo.
So that's called The Wizard because that's what they used to call people who are really good at gaming, right? Like, look at this gaming wizard.
Yeah, maybe like WizKids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad
wizard. That's gone. You're not a gaming wizard.
I'm a gaming frog.
With your Hot Vimto.
With my Hot Vimto.
You're the Hot Vimto of gaming wizards.
That can be on my YouTube channel now. That can be my tagline.
That's right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a frog in a wizard's hat with some Hot Vimto. Boom.
T is going out the window. It's Hot Vimto all the way.
All the way.
To the grave.
Non-stop. Your very soon grave.
Yeah, if I keep drinking Hot Vimto, it can't end well.
Can't. It won't. You'll spill it and burn.
Oh, no.
Awful. Alright, well, let's move on to more Nintendo stuff, because I know that's what you want.
Can't get enough.
You just can't. So Nintendo have been very messy and all over the place when it comes to YouTube recently, where they opened up their creator program, which is, they said to people, hey, you can sign up to us, to our creator program, submit all your YouTube information and whatever, and then you can put adverts on any videos that you make of Nintendo games, and then we'll split the revenue, where we'll get some of it, then we give the rest to you. So obviously this isn't that great. I don't think it's horrible, because it's essentially what YouTube partners do anyway at the service of it. Whenever you sign up to a YouTube partner, like whoever you sign up to, they do the exact same thing, where they just say, hey, you can put adverts on your videos, but we're going to take a percentage and then we'll send you some of the money. So on that basis level, it's not that different. I guess some of the problems arise when you break down exactly what's going on here, where there's like a list of pre-approved games that you can do, and it's across every Nintendo system ever. They don't just say, oh, here are the more recent ones you can do. It's, nope, here's all the GameCube games you can upload videos on. And then the wording's really weird, where I'm not too sure if you can even upload videos from other like publishers. Like maybe you can, but you can't put adverts on. I don't know if your account then is tied to Nintendo to the point where you can't upload any sort of video unless it's Nintendo approved. Then I don't know how many games there are that if they're Nintendo games that you can upload, but then they'll be like, no, this is an approved game, so you can't like, it's weird. Like, on the value of it, it's fine, but you just break it down slightly and it's weird and it kind of makes no sense.
I wonder what their thought process was for the older games. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
Maybe. Like, there's no reason why it's like, you know what? No one's gonna bloody Wrecking Crew 98, no way. It's not happening.
Oh.
No videos of that.
Oh, well, that was going to be my next Let's Play. Damn it.
Sorry. Cancelled.
Let's Play over.
I would guess the logic is they just pick the ones that are really highly rated. So if there's any bad Nintendo games, you can't cover them. I haven't properly looked at the list because I just saw this. I was like, oh dear. But I would guess that's the logic. Right. Where it's like you can't do Mario is missing or anything like that. But if you want to do Super Mario Galaxy, go right ahead because people like that game.
Seems a bit off, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
If they just made it easy for people, it'd be fine.
I think that's it. They just can't. You can't take something like YouTube and then break it down to something like creator program because there's so many variables in terms of content and the way you can present it and the way you can edit videos and the way you can put them together and whatever, that you can't just try and umbrella it all into one thing and expect it to work and to make sense. And that's kind of what they're trying to do, where they're trying to, like, it's not a horrible idea, but they just don't seem to understand what YouTube actually is, which is very bizarre. Not unexpected, but bizarre. Like, they put out a bloody survey which was focused more towards social media and stuff, and on the survey they referred to, like, YouTubers as influencers. And one of the questions was, what do you think of these influencers or influencers? It's kind of hard to say. And then it was like, do you watch any of these 5? And it was like Smush, Black Nerd Comedy, and iJustine. I was like, what the, like, why are they? It was such a weird thing. Where obviously they're like, okay, we know of these big ones, and we would like to, we've partnered with them to try and promote our content, and now we're going to ask if people watch them. And then there was another category as well, where it says other, and you says please specify. And I was like, that the fact that they're presenting it like that means that they have no idea how it works. It's like, do you watch these 5, or I guess you could watch some other people. I don't, if you're stupid, if you can watch lesser known YouTubers if you want. I hadn't even heard of I heard of Smush, heard of iJustine, but I've never watched any of her videos or know who she is, and I've heard of Black Nerd Comedy, but I didn't know the other two. I was just like, who are these people? And then I looked one of them up, I can't remember the name, and he was just like, oh, it's just another internet douche guy. I see. And it was just like, I didn't like it. I didn't like the survey.
No, sounds kind of lame.
No. It was just lame.
The sad thing is, the people that are going to be most affected by this are the die-hard Nintendo fans who base their whole channel around Nintendo stuff. And anyone else, they'll be like, all right, screw that. I'll just do Battlefield or GTA or whatever. But the people that really love Nintendo products, and there's those sort of fanatic people, they're screwed.
I don't know if they're screwed, but
they're getting screwed. I'd say,
because they can still do it. It's still fine for them to do. Like, they can still upload kind of videos. It's just like Nintendo had a whole thing about a year, maybe more ago, where they were like, we're not going to allow ad stuff. But I didn't see any sort of ramifications to that. I'm sure people have, or whatever, but I didn't see any sort of repercussions to that. And now, with this creator program, I don't know if I'm going to see any more. I have a ton of Nintendo videos. I don't know if anything's going to happen to those videos. Because last time, nothing did, and now this time I don't know. Like, the thing is, I really like the idea of a company coming in and saying, right, stop. Like, they regulate new games. That's like a personal preference of mine, because I don't like how much people just spam YouTube with new, videos of new games. So I like the idea of a company coming in and regulating that. And I'm assuming that this is what this is going to be focusing on. But apart from that, I don't know. You just kind of gotta... Nintendo, they have good intentions, I think. Good intentions, like partnering with YouTube or whatever, but they just need to leave it alone. It would be kind of like if they jumped into like a forum and started being like, hey, to post on the forum, you gotta only post about this stuff. Because ultimately, YouTube is a community. So you can't really restrict it in any sort of way, because if you do it in any, the slightest way, you're restricting a community. And you know what? That makes them a bunch of Nazis. That's what I say. I'm taking a stand. Well, I'm not really, because I don't really care. But you can't, if you restrict a community in any sort of way, then it puts you off the person trying to do that. So it's just dumb to mess with it in any sense. Even though I think ultimately this was good intentions behind it.
Messing around. Yes, mess. That's the word. They're messing people around. Don't mess around.
Mucking up the works.
Let's not use the word muck. Let's stick to mess around.
It is a horrible, ugly word, I agree.
I don't want it being associated with that sort of stuff.
No, absolutely not.
No,
Very idea.
Ghastly.
My thoughts are a little messy. I already mentioned it, but I'm potentially ill, people listening, so that's why my thoughts are even more all over the place, this podcast, because I'm potentially ill. And also no preparation. That is another factor, absolutely.
We pride ourselves here on the lack of preparation.
We try not to prepare at all. Because really, with both of these stories, with the Nintendo Creator Program, I really did find that survey frustrating. Because again, it just showed no... It was asking some weird questions, and it was poorly written. It was asking, when do you check each Nintendo social media, whatever, each day? And there was 6 or 7 for each one, where it was when do you check the Nintendo Facebook? And then it was early morning, normal morning, lunchtime, plus specific times as well. And it was weekends on nights. So what? Why do you want to know if I'm checking? I know why they want to know, so they can post it at the times that people are most likely checking it. But it's a really weird question to ask, and to have someone actually answer. And then the things, I also saw that, I think Chugga Conroy was hey, here's a survey of Nintendo asking about what you think of Let's Players. Go fill it out. And then I couldn't fit it out honestly, saying I really like Let's Players. There's some I don't like, but I do like them, and think you should just leave them alone, because it wasn't targeted towards that. It was just more towards just... It was weird. I couldn't just say Let's Players were good and I like them, but they kind of was like, do you like black nerd comedy or do you hate Let's Players? And I'm like, this is weird. This makes no sense.
So there was no sort
I'm not going to fill this in.
There's no sort of like just empty text box where you could write stuff?
No, not really. You know what? I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to find it.
Any other comments?
Any other comments?
Yeah. Like they usually put at the end of a survey or something.
I'm not sure. I didn't get to the end of it because it broke.
Oh.
It just broke.
It was that bad.
It just wouldn't load. Yeah, it just wouldn't load. Hold on, here we go. So I found the survey. Oops, this survey is no longer available. Oh.
Our survey says... Oh.
But no, it was odd. You have to trust me. It wasn't just like here, because they try and make it again. They try and condense it down to 5 boxes to tick with the Let's Players, and it's just like, well, that's not. You clearly don't understand what's going on. If you only have 5 Let's Players, and not even Let's Players, it's bloody smush. Like, God damn, they don't count. They're just, oh god. So it's not, but they had like 8 for when do you check the Nintendo Instagram. They had 8 options for that, but 5 influencers. It made no sense, and I didn't like it. But in terms of the actual creative program, I didn't care.
I love how they they expect people who have diaries, and it's okay. So 8:02 checked Instagram. 10:46 checked the Facebook feed for Nintendo. Was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Or something.
It makes no sense. Nobody just clicks on nobody clicks on an individual site. You go onto like a Facebook page where it's just like, here's some there's some funny videos of like babies or whatever. Then you're just like, funny baby videos. Here we go. You hit like, and then you check your feed. That's how media works. You don't specifically go towards somebody's particular web page. That's why web pages don't exist, because you would have to type in their address and check it every day. Instead, now you just go on Facebook or Twitter and just browse, and there it all is. There's all the content you specifically want to see. So that's how it works. You don't go like Nintendo Twitter, then I hope the Facebook or whatever. Then you don't go. It makes no sense. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it.
You didn't like it. I okay. That's fine.
No. Just
so you didn't even fill it out. So you didn't even contribute. Don't worry.
No, I didn't.
Good.
But then, because the thing is, like, I wanted to answer my questions where it was like, I didn't like a lot of Let's Players, but I still like it. But then there are problems with them, because ultimately, when it comes to promoting products, Let's Playing isn't all positive. Like, it absolutely isn't. There's a lot of it which is, in terms of just general promotion and people sharing stuff. But there are a lot of games where it's like, that has absolutely affected the sales. Like, absolutely. Like, I had some interest in the Telltale games, but I didn't buy The Walking Dead because I watched it. Like, that's straight up what happened. Now, I know that there's some people who are like, oh, I watched it and brought it or whatever, but I think overall, when you have games like that, where they're story-driven, there's a lot of people who are just going to be like, nope, I'm not buying it, I'm just going to watch it, it's easier. Because, like we were saying before with you probably would have bought Alien Isolation if you didn't watch all of it online. Mm-hmm. So Let's Playing absolutely hurts, things in a certain way. But overall, it's a positive thing because it is a community and it is sharing games. So that does absolutely help games in the long run and keeps them relevant, which is very hard to do nowadays, especially with how... I mean, that's another problem with the internet and Let's Plays, is that it's so fast-paced and it's based on trends that it's not about classic games or new games coming out. It takes a new game that's out, it throws it in your face until you don't like it anymore, then it moves on to the next one. So you can't really enjoy a game, or it's very hard for a game to become like a classic nowadays because it's rammed in your face, it's everywhere, here's some guy screaming, and then it's on to the next one. So again, I think that hurts gaming in general, but as I already said, is a community, so it does help. So that's what I kind of wanted to say, but this survey didn't let me say that at all. It was either like, Let's Play is good, yes or no. But that's obviously, you know, you're not helping Nintendo decide on what to do about Let's Players if you fill out that survey, because they're pretty much leading questions. They were way too leading to actually get people's genuine opinions on the subject, so bit dumb.
You know what you should do?
Huh?
Once this podcast is out, timestamp it to when you started that rant and tweet it to them.
Yeah.
Tweet it to the social media, Nintendo Corporation UK or whatever.
On my weekend evenings.
They'll love it.
On my Thursday brunch.
And then you can say,
I will do that.
This is when I look at your Twitter feed at whatever the time is. You can help them with that.
There we
as
go.
Well. Two birds with one stone right there.
Perfect.
Done.
Yeah. Right, yeah, my point.
That's it.
That's done.
I
suppose. But don't you agree, though? Like, Let's Playing is not all positive for games.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Especially your channel. I mean, let's be honest. Let's break it down and let's put it out there and talk about it like honest adults.
Well, especially when the internet is very much like has a very good mob mentality. So when they see something they don't like, they will target it. And so if you do something bad as a game company, or maybe not bad, but maybe wrong, you're going to face the repercussions. Especially then if Let's Play is like Total Biscuit, for example. He does lots of sort of gaming journalism videos, and he's brought about quite a few big issues because of his videos, and you know, getting people to sort of jump on the bandwagon. So it's dangerous in that way. Sometimes it's well founded. Sometimes it could be a bit over the top.
But then, don't you also think, because of the way it's done, is that if every company just waits a week, then it's fine?
Yeah, exactly. A week on the internet is a year. So
it is.
Internet time is completely separate. So yeah, absolutely, we're very fickle.
It definitely does help affect general opinion of certain companies, but we're now at the point where the internet is so full of, I don't want to say full of hate, because that's a bit melodramatic. But
full of love.
The internet is full of love. But they've targeted every single company to the point where nobody likes any companies.
No.
Which is bizarre. It's really weird. Everyone hates Ubisoft, EA, Nintendo, they hate them all. And it's just even if they do something make a game they like, they'll play it, and then next week they don't even care. And then it's all the internet people have moved on to the next thing, and so have the crowd, and it's a complete mess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't 100% blame the internet for it, but it kind of is, because it's just high-speed communication. So whereas before you might have a month, a news story would last a month due to the slowness of the communication and people talking about it and having stuff develop, now that it all can happen quicker, people just don't care. It all just happens, and it's well, that's that, and then there's another thing that gets reported straight away and gets flooded everywhere. But I mean, it still definitely shapes public opinion, but again, it's you just wait a week and then it's totally fine. Somebody made a video, people make a 20-minute video screaming at the top of their lungs, I can't even, you're letting down your consumers, and then next week they probably don't even care. Which is so weird. It's so weird to have that big emotion and then have it just no follow-up at all. That's what I don't like.
The one I've seen quite recently is the whole anti pre-order, because people who pre-order, they don't get what they want, and then there's all this anger in the comments and in the forums and whatever, and it's okay, we're never pre-ordering a game again. Who's with me? Let's boycott this pre-order. And then you find GTA 5 is the biggest pre-order of all time coming for PC. Yeah, okay. No one cares.
Oh.
No one cares.
No.
They say that, screw EA, I'm never buying another EA game. Again, with the biggest incoming gross money. Oh, man.
I don't know if you know this, but I never brought a Ubisoft game again after Rayman Legends. That's absolutely the truth, and I'm not lying.
Are you not lying or not?
I'm kind of lying.
What did you buy?
But I did emotionally get through that hard time in my life, though, so I think it's fine. I have Watch Dogs lying around.
Oh.
Assassin's Creed 4 was really good. I think that's it. Because I don't like Far Cry. The new Assassin's Creed looks terrible. The crew looks lame. Child of Light was fantastic, so I'll give him that. And Valiant Hearts, I bought that too. But when I said on this very podcast that I'm done, I was done. Oh boy, you don't even. Oh.
As long as you can live with yourself.
Well, I did get through it though. Like I think once they put out the challenge app and whatever, and also it was more Microsoft being scumbags than Ubisoft. So that also helped. I directed it more towards Microsoft than Ubisoft, so that also helped.
Whatever it takes to get you through it.
Because to get to that point where you're like, no more, it's so dumb. Like, in 5 years' time, and they're releasing amazing games, you're like, no, they know what they did. I can't even believe it.
They don't care about me.
Unity was glitchy.
Not buying
it. Me. Far Cry 4, bit like Far Cry 3, no. I'm done. I don't care about Far Cry 10, and it's amazing.
And then
whatever.
Cut to the head office CEO of Ubisoft on the phone. Wait a minute, this one guy is done with us?
Sacre bleu!
We're going bankrupt. Shut the offices.
Over, lads. No.
What are we going to
do? Oh, oui. They're just on the top of the Eiffel Tower, just like, we got all these copies of Far Cry 10. I can't even believe it.
And then they just jump off the tower because they can't live with themselves anymore.
Exactly. Into a bale of hay, and then they just jump out and they're fine.
Then they jump in, and they die horribly because that's not realistic at all. No. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have had him jumping into the hay. Huh.
I must get down quickly. There's only one way.
Like someone says before he jumps, you do realise that's a game, it's not gonna... Oh.
Sir?
Splat.
Oh. Oh, boy.
Sacre bleu.
Then Finn comes up on the screen. This is all in black and white, by the way.
Oh, yes. Then some sort of sad music plays on the violin.
Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Man getting hit in the groin. Or was it crotch by football? Boing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the point, there isn't a general point actually, but the most recent one is that maybe if people weren't so melodramatic, then maybe stuff would kind of get done. If the thing was, you know what, we should probably be a bit more cautious in the future about pre-ordering games from certain companies because they've had a history where they release their games and they're quite glitchy. That's a very logical thing to say and a logical thing to move forward with. But saying, I hate you, I'm never pre-ordering again, you're the worst, you can't maintain that level of grudge towards someone. So you're just going to let it go and not care in a year. Or, well, yeah, you're just not going to care. So it's like, if people just took it back just a little bit, bit more reasoning, a bit more rational thought, then maybe stuff would kind of get done gradually over time. But instead, companies just kind of have to react to people just like blah, 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 and then they just can't do it, and they just, it just doesn't work.
And that is the state of the internet. Brought to you by
Exactly.
No Trash Here podcast. Educational one.
The educational ep.
Uh-huh.
Edep.
Uh-huh. And if there is anyone that can maintain such rage and anger and hostility for a lifetime... Get help, and I commend you.
Good for you, man.
Good for you. He'll be on his deathbed. I said, no more Ubisoft.
Oh, no.
And I'll be there.
The PC ports are terrible.
And I'll say, well done. But he's dead, so he didn't hear that.
And then as everyone's putting dirt, you just put a banana skin on his grave. So he knows. As a sign of respect.
Yes, that is what I do.
That is. I've seen you at funerals. It's awful.
I bring everyone down, to be honest, because I think I'm doing a practical joke. And it's really not how I mean it to be, because bananas aren't even that slippery. Their skins aren't really that slippery.
Says you.
Well, I've never seen any corpses slip yet. I'm just saying.
I think it must be like that. Must have come from the idea of you. I don't know when this was first done, but it must be the whole idea of a character in like a cartoon or whatever could be casually just eating a banana, and be like, I'm fine. And then the guy's like, oh, he's just eating a banana, that's fine. But then really, once he's finished the banana, he can throw it on the floor, and it was a secret trap all along. Where if he had something that was actually slippery, like if he was just holding a big container of oil, then there's no, he's not being casual with that. That's not right.
You know what I think it is? I'm sure maybe Mythbusters did this, or I've read it on some website about why it is a banana. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the colour of it.
Oh.
Maybe? I'm going to look it up right now. I need to know.
Do it.
I'm going to do it. You have to stall for a moment.
Oh, no.
So have you got any biscuits to talk about?
Bananas.
Don't start singing.
Biscuits? I want to sing about bananas.
Oh, I really
pajamas.
want to find out. I'm sure Mythbusters tested this. It's a very Mythbustery thing, isn't it?
They probably tested it.
Yeah. Okay.
But we want to know the origin of the slippery banana.
Alright, I'm looking it up now.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, no, apparently it was an actual
It's from World War
public
II.
hazard.
No.
A man in the mid-19th century, a man named Carl B. Frank began importing Panamanian bananas to New York City. The fruit quickly became a popular street food, but then lack of sanitation meant people often tossed their garbage into the streets, which meant people slipped over them.
Oh dear.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's got to be more like normal trash or garbage or rubbish or whatever. Would just be like a can that you wouldn't slip over, you would just kick it or crush it. Or it'll be something thin, like some paper or whatever, that you're not going to trip over. But I guess a banana is just right, where if you step on it, it's like thick enough and there's enough to it where it is going to affect your foot and your motion as you walk. But then it's not so big that you're just going to kick it or whatever. So I guess I can kind of see it.
Well, yeah, sure. Why not? I haven't really thought that much into the history of the banana skin, but yeah.
There must be. I'm sticking with that. I'm happy with that.
I'm sure it had something else to do with that. I must just be thinking it wrong. What a shame.
And also they're yellow, sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yellow. Whatever.
Well, it's probably also like, I guess everyone was just eating bananas then, because they were new.
People love bananas.
Can you imagine being alive when bananas were new?
Yes, because I don't like bananas, so
okay.
they're still quite new to me.
They've only been in your picture for 4 years.
Yes,
it's fine.
It's true. I'm actually going to start trying to eat bananas.
No.
For you got to get that potassium. So maybe my thing will change. Maybe my outlook will change on bananas.
Or when you go to Minecon, you just start eating them at the hope that somebody's like, wait, hold on, a banana? That's got to be MrMuckluckable over there. And you're just like, oh, it's me.
I'll be the one in the giant costume.
The giant banana costume.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Eating a banana. Just like, I think, no, it can't be. It can't be that vain. There's no way.
Alright, I've got to try and find a banana costume now before July the 4th.
And you take off the banana costume and you're in like a pink maid outfit. Just like, that's definitely him.
This is too much of a coincidence now.
This is just getting weird.
Wait a minute, are you Muckluck? No, I just like wearing banana and maid costumes.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
Well, what you got to judge?
Whoops, by mistake.
Thought Minecon was a place of... My mistake.
Oh dear.
Then you take off that costume and it turns out you're Crypto. You're like a little midget alien fella.
Did you know he sounds like Invader Zim?
Nope.
Okay, good. Now you do. Don't worry,
Nope.
it's just the amount of comments for that is ridiculous.
See, I like that you said that joke because you've already told me it. But really, out of context, that joke makes no sense apart from for you. Because you're the one with the videos who get to see every single comment. Even the people that leave the comments don't read the other
but you
ones,
say that, but
really.
they must scroll down and see that. You have to scroll down to type the comment. It's
But they don't
always
read
there.
them.
It's
They
always
don't
there.
read it. They just you don't read comments
I
if
think
there's like so many comments.
I might make a public service announcement video and say, this guy, I can't remember his name now, is the same voice actor as Invader Zim. Thank you and good night.
That should have been make it part 0 of Destroy All Humans 2.
Put it in the playlist. Hopefully people will see it. Okay, yeah, we'll do. I have to have that little beeping, like the beeping for the news. Boop, 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 boop. This is a public service announcement brought to you by MrMuckluckable. I'll get on that.
Definitely, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
What else to talk about? There's stuff to talk about next week.
It's the BAFTAs tonight.
Because this, you could say that. I mean,
who cares about the BAFTAs though? No one.
I don't really.
Stephen Fry's doing them.
Oh wow!
He always does them.
Maybe I'll tune in. Oh,
that's
not
it.
interested.
I'm dumb. I'm out.
Whatever, it's fine. Award shows are fine.
They're okay. Unless something funny happens, like someone falls down or swears or something when
on
they
a banana skin.
On a banana skin.
And they just see you in a maid outfit, like, yes.
You know when Jennifer Lawrence tripped on the stairs? That was me. I was there, and I put the banana.
You were the
skin.
step.
I was the step. I was very well costumed.
You disguised yourself as a step.
That's what I'm going to Minecon as, a step.
As a step.
I just lay down and trick people.
She's like, oh no.
Oh, like a step costume. That's great.
That'd be very uncomfortable to wear, I would imagine.
For the payoff.
To make yourself low enough so people actually try and step on you. Because you have to be really low, and then all you got to do is go up slightly as they try to step on you and they'll trip.
And possibly break bones. So maybe I shouldn't do this, actually.
No, you've committed now. You've made your choice.
It's going to be like, I'm going to end up tripping up this 10-year-old kid at Minecon, and he'll break his neck or something, and I'll be
don't
sued.
Go for the kids.
Okay.
Go for the overweight individuals. They'll be fine.
Okay.
They'll bounce right up and be on their merry way.
Oh, it's like one of those toys where you punch it and it just bobs back up again.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
Well, that's just horrible.
We should probably stop before we say something we shouldn't. As if we haven't done that already.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But what I was actually talking about, not the BAFTAs and tripping fat people.
Yes.
Is the new 3DS comes out next Friday. Got mine ordered. That's going to be there.
The special one?
Oh, the special one. The Majora's Mask limited edition XL. You got to have the XL, alright? You just got to get it. And then get the little Skull Kid figure. Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And due to money, that's like the only game I'm going to be buying this month, really. Because it's like 200 quid. 210, I think. So once I buy that, I have to make it last for the rest of the month, because can't buy anything else.
The way you said that, it's like, what is it? Food? Do you eat your 3DS? Can I make that last the rest of the month?
A lot of gigabits.
In case you get packaged, just a nibble.
Just a bit. Just some of the mini games. I think they can go. Just eat the third day or something. I don't know.
Well, have fun with that.
How many
3DSs will you have then?
Only 2.
Oh, okay.
What
you don't keep your old ones or anything?
I only have 2 3DSs, or will do.
But you must have had ones in the past.
Well, I had a DS.
Yeah. Sorry, I just mean like DSs in general.
Oh. This is my... I got my original DS. I got the original ones. Then I sold it. And then I didn't have a handheld until my 3DS.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2012, I think, when Ocarina of Time came out.
Oh, I thought you'd have sort of like a little collection of them by now.
No, I don't really have a collection of consoles. I'm trying to. I have like all the most recent ones, but I just don't end up hanging on to my consoles. I usually end up like giving them away, or just something happens to them, or I just never end up just having them, which is why I've had to buy another PS2, because it's like I had a PS2, And I had a PS3 that played PS2 games, and they were just broke. It's like, ugh.
See, that's a shame, because then you could do some... I'm just looking over there. I could do a cool little sort of thing of all the consoles I have, but I'm not going to, because that's really lame.
Oh, no.
But I've got PS2, PS3, PS4. Well, I could line them up or something. Or you see all those awful sort of... What's that site called? Etsy, where they make their own stuff.
What's that? What's that?
Or is it or pin something? Pin
Bay.
Pin Bay, yes, that's what it's called. Where it's all homemade stuff, and you see where they put the controllers in the framed boxes and stuff. And ooh, look at me, the history of gaming. I can make something lame like that. No?
Yeah, you could do.
You know how people do that?
You should get your PS3 or whatever, and then make a box for it out of PS2s. So you got 10 PS2s surrounding this big PS3. That's how you should do it.
Mm.
And then you would get one for the PS2, but the box would be made out of PS1s.
I could see this being in some sort of museum.
Yes.
Or maybe a view, a metaphor for modern consumerism and gluttony and waste.
Yes, waste, gluttony.
I could make millions.
Millions.
Thank you for this idea. I will not do it.
It's my idea. I'll sue you.
Oh. Oh.
That's how it has to be.
No, but I think there is something to... I understand why you get rid of your old things. Hey.
I don't... It just kind of naturally happens. I would love to have my old N64. It's just naturally I don't have it. And naturally my game keeps gone. And I'm sad.
Sorry to make you sad.
It's fine. Right, so the other new stuff is that today, The Walking Dead's back. Sway! And then Better Call Saul starts.
Tonight?
Today. Yes, tonight.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And then I think there's something else, but I can't remember. Probably the BAFTAs, I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's some cool stuff on the way, that's for sure.
I'm going to watch the first episode of Better Call Saul. I don't know if I will, depending on how good it is. I have a feeling it won't be what I think it will be.
It's 10 episodes, I think.
Yeah, but...
Maybe.
If they get Mike in nice and early, I'm sold, because I liked Mike. But I was saying with a friend who just finished watching Breaking Bad about this new one they got coming up, and I don't really see why they needed to go into the history of Saul. I don't understand it. I think it's one of those things that's best left untold. For me, anyway.
Maybe. But then, I guess you got to think of it on the way as they want to tell their own new original story that's separate from Breaking Bad but related. Who would be the best character to do that? And obviously it wouldn't be Walter White, and it wouldn't be Jesse, maybe Mike, but it would be that world that surrounds Saul. So, as long as they've got a story to tell involving those characters, they're the best group, or Saul's the best character to have that revolve around to tell its own story.
I just think they didn't need to do anything with the whole series. I don't understand why. Money, but even then, I thought they had more sort of dignity. They wouldn't do that sort of stuff where it's not selling out, but it's that sort of thing where we can expand. When I don't think they had that idea to expand when they wrote the character. It's like, oh, actually, he's really popular. Maybe we should do something with him.
But then I don't believe that is what happened. It's more popular. I think it's just they wanted to stay in the world of Breaking Bad, and then they found an appropriate story that they could tell with Better Call Saul. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's such a strict, we need more Breaking Bad related stuff. I think they probably did find a story to tell with Saul, or Saul, whatever. So I have faith. I don't know what it's going to be, or what the show's going to be like, and that's kind of the most interesting part about the first episode, is that it's kind of got to establish the show where, would it be like Breaking Bad? Would it be completely different? I don't know. But I do have faith in the writers and Vince Gilligan or whatever that he was like, okay, I've got this idea, I've got this world that I want to portray with this character, so let's do it.
I think it'll probably be good. They're all if it's the same group of writers and still got Vince Gilligan behind it. Yeah, it's going to be good. I just don't think it's necessary, but I might still enjoy it. So
Sure. Well, it's saying if it's necessary or not is relying on it being like too heavily tied to Breaking Bad. Of course, it's a spin-off, so of course that's what you're automatically going to think. But as a consumer who doesn't know what the story is going to be, it's not. There's a good chance, or what I'm thinking at the moment, is that this isn't supposed to be filling in the blanks for Breaking Bad and expanding the universe. This is its own story with the same characters, which is a subtle difference, but it's a difference. So it might just be trying to cash in on Breaking Bad, but I think it's its own story and thing, but with the same characters rather than here's what you didn't know about the Breaking Bads.
And I'll be honest, I didn't really like the character that much. It was okay. I didn't find him particularly funny though.
Yeah,
but
it didn't make me laugh, but I think it's I like the guy.
Yeah, it was a good character, but it didn't. I didn't seem. It was obviously the comedy, but it wasn't that funny.
No, I don't know. I don't think he was meant to be straight up the comic character. Obviously, there was some comic involved, but I don't think he was meant to be just like more focused on that. Because the comedy in Breaking Bad was more subtle overall. Because there was comedy there, but it was more just subtle.
Apart
so
from
I don't
Fuel.
think he was supposed to be the. Apart from Fuel.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
So yeah, I don't. He is. He's fine. He found it. He figured it out. He's a smart guy.
Okay, good.
Cool. Anyway, any final thoughts? Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, one final thought. How did the Super Bowl go?
It went great. Yeah, it really was. It was an awesome game. I won the bet because I bet on the Patriots and they beat the Seahawks. Close game, but still, it was still good that I won. And then I won't go into it too much, but there was 3 plays back to back that were just crazy, crazy. Okay, so you don't know the rules, or I think you only vaguely know the rules.
No, I don't know.
So
the rules.
there was. Okay, so
Like
basically, the Seahawks went for a pass, and the guy missed it. It bounced off his leg, bounced off his chest, and then he caught it on the floor, and it counted. And this was right up to the Patriots scoring zone, their goal essentially. So they got this insane catch where the guy was falling down, and it was bouncing off him as he was falling down, and he still caught it. So they were like, okay, now we can just score. So then they try to throw it into the middle or into the scoring zone, the end zone, and the Patriots caught it, which is an interception, which means that the Patriots now have the ball and they can run it up the field, and the Seahawks didn't score, and it cost them the Super Bowl because if they had scored, they would have won. Then the third one, they had a fight. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
They just had a little fight in the end zone where they just started pushing each other and just... It wasn't a proper... obviously they can't punch each other in the face because they've got the helmets on. But it was so weird. There was 2 people pushing each other, and then outside of the main group who were kind of fighting, 2 other people started really violently just coming at each other, separate from the main group. And it was just wow, that was crazy, those 3 plays back to back, and it was really awesome to see.
Listen, I'm sure this is all very, very interesting and exciting to watch, but you must admit the best bit was the shark costumes in the halftime show.
Absolutely, I was very drunk, and I was like, yeah, you sharks! They did it! They did it!
Yes! It was excellent. It was so good.
And tired as well. They were.
And the adverts
it was so good
were
to
sort
see
of
that...
interesting as well.
I think that's why you got to watch the Super Bowl, because everything from the Super Bowl becomes everywhere online. Mm-hmm. So you got to watch it live. You got to kind of see it all live to have your own reaction to it. Because mine was yeah, sharks. And then there was some really dumb adverts. I was boo to you.
And then Walter White.
Because I think the halftime... yeah, Walter White. Did he? Oh, he didn't throw the pizza though, so
No, lost points for that.
2 out of 10. Will not watch again.
No more assurance for me.
No.
I think that was who did the advert.
But it was a good Super Bowl. Definitely a good one.
Well, good. Glad you thought so. That was my final thoughts, by the way. Your final thoughts.
Cool.
My final thoughts, but your final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
You're sick. Go and lay down.
I want to go to bed. Well, not bed. No, actually bed. I got too much stuff to do. So after this, I'll be editing my next review. Wow. So that'll be out next week. Because it's all recorded and stuff. It's just I got to put it together and do all the editing stuff. So that'll be out like Thursday, I want to say. Can't say for sure, but probably Thursday. And then I've been keeping up really good with the LPs. So next week expect more Daxter and Red Dead. Which is cool. Very happy with them.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you?
At the moment, we have Ultra Hardcore and Minecraft.
God damn it.
And also, the special little recording we did for Destiny.
Yes! Very special.
Which wasn't as bad to edit as I thought it would be.
Well, the thing is, like, whenever I've seen those sort of things where it's like jumping between them, usually it'll be like 4 and it's really rapid. But what you've done, it's more like, about 30 seconds at a time?
I actually specifically did that. I've measured it, well, not measured like, okay, it's got to be the next second, but it's around a minute. It's around a minute. It's like, okay, time to change, so it goes back and forth about a minute. Because I did worry about that too much. I was like, is it switching too much or too little? Or I said, screw it, just do it.
Yeah, I think you would have to repeatedly watch the whole thing to get it down to a T of, switching at the precise correct moments. Mm-hmm. Like you would have to watch it all. Well, when really, it's just nice to have the different viewpoints.
Yeah. I really couldn't at the end of the day because whenever I looked at it, I knew when the cut was coming. So I couldn't see it with that sort of eye. But it was alright. It was fun to do. Definitely different.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it was good. I'm glad you sent me the recording.
Yeah.
A few more parts of that coming out. So, yeah, it's good fun.
Cool. That is cool.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
You really are dying over there.
Fine. I'm fine. I've been a lot worse.
Okay.
But no, I think it came out pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. I always watch videos I'm in. You know how that is.
Well, I forget what I say. Sometimes I go on autopilot mode, so I watch it back and I'm like, why did I say that for? And actually,
what's going on there?
Actually, what I noticed when I edited this is, why am I not shooting anyone? And then I realised why it was 60 kills to 15 because I was just not shooting anyone. Like,
yeah, you gotta go for it, man.
What am I doing? I'm just standing there. What? What an idiot passed me.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Crucible part.
That'll be mostly you. Good. I'm just telling you now. That'll be mostly your footage.
That's the one I'm interested in because it's like, I know how that went because I was playing it, of course. But we weren't hanging out most of the time. I didn't see you. So I want to kind of see what you were doing, like, at the same time. I think that's pretty cool.
No, I'm limiting that footage.
Yeah, just skillfully edited.
It's quite awful. Yes.
You got to show some of it,
I will have to, but you'll have to wait and see.
Yay.
But that is it.
Because I get to be excited to see them, to see how they came out.
Yeah, it's nice.
I get to be part of it.
Yeah.
And then I get to be like, oh, another brilliant performance. I've done it again.
You see, the sad thing is, I could see you being like, yeah, I'm pleased with that.
Well done, me.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would do that as well.
I do that, though.
Yeah.
Reviews are the ones where I do it every time.
You have to judge yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, Let's Plays, whatever, they are what they are. But if I'm in any other videos, then it's kind of like, you know what, let's see how that came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't have to edit it.
No, but then again, it wasn't too bad, so we're okay. We're good.
Cool.
That's it.
So anything else? I want to say, is it just the Minecraft and the Destiny?
Yeah, there might be a few Q&As and whatever, but and maybe some live stream bits. But also, the next Let's Play will start this coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be the week today. Hopefully.
Monday the 16th.
Hopefully.
No, 7th? No, what?
Yeah, sometime around there. That'll do.
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. That'll do.
Where's my hint?
No hints.
Hint? Come on.
End the podcast.
I know it's the Steam game.
Yes.
So, Civilization 3.
Yes.
Done.
Civilization 4. I'm gonna play as Persians.
Play as Queen Elizabeth or
Oh,
Victoria.
Lizzie. Yeah, okay.
Lizzes.
I'm not really doing Civilization.
I heard that you are, though.
Okay.
Because I just said it.
You believe what you want to believe.
I will. Right, okay, so we're going to fill the next 40 minutes with me just trying to guess.
No.
Is it based on a book? Do you think that was a good question to ask?
No.
Oh, dear. Well, I have to disagree.
I'm not telling you anything.
Fine.
You're wasting your precious upload time for this this podcast.
Whatever. I don't care.
You will get nothing.
I'm not in a caring mood.
I am terrible with hints, so I don't do them. What's your next Let's Play, Tom?
I don't know. I don't have that decided.
Is it based on a book?
Nerd.
What console is it on? Is it on Steam? What's it about? How old is the game?
I've got some ideas, so I appreciate the interest, that's for sure. It's Captain Toad, absolutely.
I watched someone make videos of that. It was quite fun.
Cool. I don't know how you can enjoy watching that game. It's bloody... You got to play it.
The music was nice.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that's a truth.
So I just kind of had it in the background.
Just get the sound... Oh, God. Let's get the soundtrack.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's it, though. I'm not telling you anything.
Cool. Well, the thing is, like, with that Destiny videos, that came out for the people listening and not just you, Joe. That came out because we were like, we should do a co-op. And then we were like, there's no games. Like,
there's
no games. There's no games at all. The one we almost did was Mercenaries 2, and that wasn't very good. And it was 18 hours, so forget it.
That would have been a mistake.
Yeah. So it's like, there's no game. We did 2 of them. It's like, that's it. All the co-op games done. We just couldn't find one.
So basically, they need to make more online co-op games.
Which they are all the time.
More of them.
Yeah.
I want more. And I want more that are suited to our channels.
Yay. So, TimeSplitters 4 co-op online. Done.
Yes.
Home run.
Exactly.
Although I've never done anything in TimeSplitters. I just really like it.
Yeah, why is that? No TimeSplitters.
Because you did it. Gosh.
Do you use the intro, the theme for the intro of this podcast and everything, and there's still nothing on your channel?
Actually, my top 5 songs from games.
That's true.
Hello.
That's true.
What was that, like 150th subscribers special? Wild West was in there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Probably the best one.
Exactly. And you're only saying that because you saw the video. I'm an influencer, Joe.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you knew this. Oh, God, we just wasted like 20 minutes.
Yeah. This is what happens when you don't end the podcast. We just keep talking.
We do. I've got to be a man and say no more at some point.
For some reason, we just keep talking. No one cares what we're saying right now.
Listen, I'm going to read like a manual that I have lying around. Here we go. It's TimeSplitters manual. See? TimeSplitters stuff.
Do you want me to read the red nose names again?
No, we don't. You know what? We're ending the podcast. This has been fun. We've had fun. Actually did pick up the case. Get out of here.
What are you doing over there?
What?
Why are you throwing more things around?
I get to throw things. Okay? That's my choice.
The only one who wants to break your
quid
cases.
or two. It's not broken. It landed on jeans.
You only want to mark your jeans.
My jeans, no. Those corners are sharp. Yeah, let's actually end it off. I don't know. so
I think you're. I think Honest Tom 23 is on drugs. Everyone. I think he's drugged up.
I need some drugs. Some of them drugs. I didn't even have any alcohol. I drank it all.
That's why you don't have any.
Yeah. I had a bottle of wine during a live stream. Hang out, that's it. And I'm not going to buy any alcohol because I'm trying to not drink as much. So there you go.
So it is drugs.
No, it's not drugs.
All right, we'll go get some drugs then.
I need drugs. I'm super low. Right, no, we're ending this.
All right.
I've had enough of you.
The feeling's mutual.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me, though.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
God, I feel sorry for anyone who
I think you need a
this.
guest soon.
No, shut up. We'll do it next week, I guess. See how I feel. Okay. So next week, guests.
Yeah.
And you'll never guess who. It's one of those mysteries that can't be solved.
Place some bets.
Maybe a certain Canadian might be invited. I don't know.
Ooh.
Mary's Canadian, right?
Yeah. Close enough.
Anyway, goodbye, everybody. I'm waving, so.
Oh, that's nice.